place.
Magnus Carlsen proving that he can once again run down the stairs.
Some fitness for Magnus as well.
Yeah, it's not so easy to always go up there to the VIP lounge.
And red socks, if I'm mistaken.
Not the basketball ones this time?
Looks like he has red socks. Not sure. Okay, so Magnus Carlsen gets to the board and the round will be starting. It's round number
16.
16. So this one, 2 more, and then we have a break, right? Before
Basically, the players have a break.
Players have a break. I mean, we as let's say
We will
tournament,
interview,
we'll talk. That's a great thing to do. So they have a break before final 3 rounds and final 2 rounds for the ladies.
It's time to start the round.
So okay, I believe we once again. No, I thought there will be one more time
That's
an
it. It has
announcement.
begun with the Sicilian.
Sicilian and Rossolimo variation with bishop b5, e6 was played by Vasily Ivanchuk. g7, g6 is sort of a trend nowadays, but Ivanchuk goes for e6 and knight e7. Which sort of surprised Magnus Carlsen immediately. He starts to spend time. d4, knight d4. Well, look
And
how
b6.
fast Ivanchuk is playing. And b6 is something I can't recall seeing in this position. I mean, even though the move is perfectly healthy. b6, bishop to b7, and
But you're
what
not
can
the
be
only one
wrong,
who is
no?
puzzled. Look at Magnus already using
Magnus
half
is
a
sort
minute.
of- yeah, because indeed, I mean, first of all, it doesn't look like a very good move to play. I mean, it's not, but on the other hand, it perfectly makes sense. So Magnus took on c6 and played knight c3. Bishop b7, I assume. Vasily, why didn't you? Why did you play b6? To play bishop b7. So play it. Or maybe he wants to develop the other bishop first, like bishop e7, in order to be in time to castle. Queen c7, which is somewhat puzzling to me, because perhaps to prevent bishop f4, but I don't know if it's such a bright idea. Queen g4 played, and Vasily goes for h5. Chasing the queen away. Obviously, queen g4 was played with the idea to go bishop f4. Queen g5, an original position for the queen in this.
It's a very original position already. It's
Yeah, but usually you have black queen on d8, and queen g5 is never an idea. Knight e5 this time. So what's after bishop f4 would be my question. Bishop f4. This is the move. Magnus plays. Look what happens. f6 and queen g6 check.
what a position!
Queen g6
Yeah, so you can exchange
check.
queens
you
by
can
taking
take on
it.
g6, but Magnus is usually fine with all those endings.
But it's
Vasily
taken.
takes
Nevertheless,
bishop
because
c7,
what else
a6.
could you do? Move the king was really.
Yeah, a6, chasing the bishop away, but now your b6 pawn is hanging. If you go b5, he goes b5. Then a4 is always in the air. Look, I'm thinking of an interesting idea. Yes, a4, b4, and knight b5. Will he play knight b5? Not really. No, knight b1. Of course, it's very easy to sacrifice pieces when you're not playing the game. But just talking. Knight b5, though, was an interesting idea, because black knight was far away. Okay, forget it. Rook a7. Bishop a5. So bishop has no moves at all, but will be... well, it pressurizes the b4 pawn. Knight e5 now. Knight will go to c6 later on. Knight b3. Bishop back to e7. There is nothing wrong with it. I kind of like Ivanchuk. There is something wrong with it. Bishop b6 and a5. But I still sort of like Ivanchuk's position. Maybe not for...
Bishop e2 was played to keep the bishop.
Bishop e2. Yeah, so he decided to keep the bishop. Vasily had a chance, though, to take on
g5, look at that.
g5 to stop f4. That's a logical one. So he grabs some
Yes, you
space.
keep the e5 spot for the
Yeah.
knight.
As long as knight is on e5, black can't be too bad. bishop to b7, then bishop to c6 later on in some
F3
positions.
against the b7 bishop and strengthening the pawn, of course.
Rook to c8. So a pressure on c2 applied. Rook d2.
It's such a typical Sicilian position, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So h4. I mean, if you don't have... Okay, king f7 looks like a useful move and probably is a useful move. Rook c6. Trying to... Well, perhaps provoke a5 so that there will be no knight a5. Magnus decides otherwise.
He
He plays bishop
knight A5
e3.
option.
Right, he plays bishop e3 and he wants to play knight a5.
Right now, basically.
Right now, on the next move. Bishop d8 doesn't look like a healthy move. You can play it.
Bishop c8.
Bishop c8, which is sort of weird, to be honest, because one more knight a5. Does knight a5 win an exchange, or there is a tactical point? No, king f1, knight a5, bishop c5. Those little intermediate moves.
And that's why king f1. Now
That's why
knight
king
a5 is
F1.
a threat.
So, yeah, somehow when you see the move of Magnus Carlsen king f1, you understand there was something with knight a5, something connected with the check to this king, and then you realize
The
it's
question is,
bishop
will
c5.
Chucky see it?
Bishop,
Yes, he
bishop
sees
d8,
it, of
yes.
course, bishop
No,
d8.
Of course he was prepared. I mean, that's why the bishop c8 was kind of a little, you know, little
Just
trap.
a move in his
Yeah, little
whole
trap.
strategy.
Okay, a5. Now bishop can... now bishop cannot go back to b7 because knight c5. So first bishop e7, controlling c5. And after knight d4, where to go with the... Now bishop b6 and knight d4. Bishop b6, though, black has bishop b7 and now knight c4. Somehow attacking the rook. That's the thing. Knight d4. I still like Ivanchuk's position, to be honest. Now a6 is no longer hanging. I mean, basically he's with two bishops, and I don't see why white has to be happy about it.
If he could quickly place his king on f7, bishop on
Yeah,
b7,
bishop
play
b7.
d5, then he would be
Right.
very much fine.
He might be better already. King f7, then put the rook on c8 as well.
Yes,
because there might be a ugly move, but a serious threat e6, e5. Yeah.
b3,
so
the
b3,
rook
so
goes
he has
back
to
and
move back.
Magnus doubles rooks.
King f7. And you were right, so his next move will probably be d7, d5.
And then he's just fine.
Better, apparently. Because white still has this backward pawn on c2. So bishop takes d5.
Yeah, pair of bishops, weakness on c2 for white.
Yeah, well, the thing is that as long as the knight is there, there are
Yeah.
always forks. Ivanchuk is not very good on time. Knight
Oh, look
f5.
at the knight going to f5.
Knight f5. Well, black has to keep this bishop on d5. I mean, that's the key piece in this position. h3, nice intermediate. If you take, black will take on f3. So this way, white's pawn structure is destroyed.
Yes,
So you
I
can't
think
move the
this
g
is
pawn.
something
h3 is a very nice touch.
Magnus
Knight
must have
e7,
missed
king
this.
e7. He's not even in rush. Rook c3. Was it missed by Magnus Carlsen? Because now it looks like Ivanchuk is pretty much in control of the game. Rook f2.
Yeah, look
now
at Magnus's face,
Vasily
shaking
can
his
take.
head.
Now Chucky can take. Or bring the rook first. Rook c8 is a powerful move.
Look how-
Attacking c2.
Yeah, all
f3
the
is
black
already
pieces
hanging.
are so active.
Yeah, right. And now in some positions it might be that even with exchange of all rooks, black will be winning because too many pawns fall.
Yeah, the g4 pawn is also on light squares.
I'm afraid Magnus is lost. King e1. Chucky goes back to c3. Bishop d4. That was a blunder. That was a blunder. Rook d2 and e5.
Oh.
Yeah, so
but
Ivanchuk
now-
blundered. Now I'm not
yes.
sure if he's winning. Takes
And the
c2. Well,
Well,
h3,
still.
it's c2. And if you protect, it's rook c3. Rook c3.
yes.
Right, rook c3. He must be still close to a winning position. Must be still close to a winning position. You cannot exchange with white, I believe. And if you go back, then it's rook e3.
10 seconds for the world champion.
He
takes on
takes.
c3.
He takes on c3. No, this must be just winning. This must be just winning.
He calculated that he goes. But
Yeah,
isn't
right.
This
This is a tricky move because he's gonna have f5. He's gonna have f5, king e3, f5 now. Takes. No, now black is simply
And
winning.
Magnus resigns.
Magnus resigns. What a game by Vasily Ivanchuk. And he runs away from the board to check what other guys are playing. What a determined
Why?
person